In a world where status often spoke louder than kindness, life had its own way of humbling the proud. And on this particular morning, inside a crowded courtroom buzzing with chatter, two men stood on opposite sides of a battle neither fully understood. Marcus Langford, mid-40s, sharply dressed, confident to the point of arrogance, adjusted his tie and smirked as he sipped his coffee. His table was stacked with documents, the kind a lawyer carried when he expected an easy win. Judge Harris entered, commanding the room without effort. "Mr. Langford," he asked, "are we ready to proceed with today's hearing?" "Absolutely, Your Honor," Marcus replied smoothly. "Though I must say, I didn't expect to waste my morning on this." Across the room sat Samuel Turner, a quiet man who had spent 25 years sweeping the floors of the same building. He looked out of place between polished lawyers and expensive suits, yet there was a calm strength in his eyes. Marcus launched into his argument. "My client, Mr. Drake, CEO of Apex Properties, has done nothing wrong. This man claims wrongful termination, yet all evidence shows he was just a janitor, a replaceable part." Samuel spoke softly but clearly. "I was fired after reporting unsafe wiring that caused an electrical fire." Marcus chuckled. "Oh, please. You? An expert on electrical safety? What's next? You'll diagnose the HVAC too." The humiliation drew a murmur from the crowd, but Samuel didn't flinch. He hadn't come seeking pity, only truth. Marcus continued his assault. "No degree. No certifications. No credibility. Just a broom and a bad attitude. Tell me, Mr. Turner, when you were sweeping floors, did you ever imagine yourself suing a billion-dollar company?" "I didn't have to imagine it, sir," Samuel replied, steady and sure. "I just had to do what's right." "Objection!" Marcus snapped. "Irrelevant testimony from someone with no formal expertise." "Overruled," Judge Harris said without hesitation. Marcus pressed on, growing more irritated. "You're just bitter because you lost your job. Admit it. You're hoping to get rich from this lawsuit." Samuel gave a small, peaceful smile. "Rich? I already have more than I need." That only fueled Marcus's disdain. "You? A janitor? That's adorable." But arrogance had a way of blinding men like Marcus. While he treated the case as another easy victory, something subtle shifted when Samuel glanced toward a man from Apex's property division watching from the back, a man who seemed oddly familiar to Marcus. "What's he doing talking to the janitor?" Marcus muttered under his breath, unease creeping into his voice. He returned to the center of the courtroom, eager to regain control. "Your Honor, this entire case is built on emotion, not fact. This man is a nobody trying to take advantage of a hard-working corporation. Justice demands that we dismiss this." "Your Honor," Samuel interjected respectfully, "may I speak?" "You may, Mr. Turner," the judge allowed. Samuel rose slowly, holding a folder. "You called me a nobody, Mr. Langford. Said I was replaceable. But before I was a janitor, I was a man who believed in investing in things people overlook, just like people overlook janitors." He opened the folder and held out documents. "These are ownership records. 10 years ago, I bought this building, every floor your law firm rents. You, Mr. Langford, have been practicing in my property." Marcus paled. "That's impossible." "No, sir," Samuel replied calmly. "It's called foresight. While you were learning how to speak down to people, I was learning how to rise without shouting. In an instant, everything changed. The broom became a scepter. The janitor became the master of the very ground the lawyer stood on." Marcus tried to regain footing. "Even if that's true, it has no bearing on." "Actually," Judge Harris cut in sharply, "it does. It demonstrates character and credibility. Mr. Turner, it seems, has both." The courtroom fell silent as the judge delivered his ruling. "Based on the evidence and testimony, the court finds in favor of Mr. Turner." Apex Properties is ordered to compensate him for wrongful termination and safety negligence. As the gavel struck, Marcus stood frozen, a man stripped of pride, not by anger or argument, but by truth spoken softly. Samuel walked past him, pausing just long enough to say, "You know, Mr. Langford, buildings are a lot like people. Doesn't matter how shiny the top floors are, if you forget to take care of the foundation, the whole thing collapses." Samuel Turner left the courtroom with dignity, justice, and the quiet authority of a man who had opened doors the world said he never could. Respect, he showed them all, wasn't owned by titles or suits. It was earned, in silence, in struggle, and in strength.